And sometimes people underestimate me and they think that they can take advantage, but they soon learn that that's not a good idea. God takes them early, you know. As you can probably notice, I was the only white girl on the show.
Yes.
I could make it a racist thing, and maybe there was a bit of that. What is wrong with you people? I can't remember too many times that they actually said bitch to me, to be quite honest. But
What would you say is the criteria for making it as a real housewife?
really,
If
you
there
wanna,
is one.
is there even that question? I fell in love with a billionaire, and he bought me the house. And that wasn't the man that I married. A lot of the housewives on the show didn't even have the house. The man, the billionaire that bought me the house, was stolen from me.
You careless.
Careless.
Yeah, hambi ndoda.
He loved me very much. He gave me the world, and he wanted to be in my world forever, and he was taken from me. That was one of the very famous things that became known for what Christall was saying a lot of the time.
Hi everyone, my name is Hazel and you are within. Joining me today is a blonde bombshell, the real housewives of Johannesburg, Christall Kay. Hey. Hi Chris.
Hey, how you doing?
How's it?
Hey, I'm okay, man.
It's good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, you and I are matching.
We are.
It's giving pink.
I can see that you're in the darker shade though, right?
Yes, and
but
in the
like I
lighter
was saying,
shade.
we're in the all shades of women.
Beautiful
Womankind.
shades. Yes.
And that we are.
Positive shades.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming onto my podcast.
It's a pleasure.
I really appreciate it. Why did you agree to come sit with me today?
Well, I thought that it would be great to tell my story. And I know that you're the lady in charge right now. So yeah, here I am. And I really appreciate the invites. It's wonderful to chat. I always love chatting.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for honoring it.
Thank you.
I hope we're gonna have a good conversation and dissect everything bit by bit.
There's a lot.
Yes. And tell it all.
100%.
And have some nice tea.
All the way.
Chris, you look good. I'm not gonna lie. You look good. I feel like television does not do you justice. I'm complimenting you, by the way. I hope you don't take this the wrong way.
No, not at all.
You look younger. Actually, me meeting you, you look way younger.
Wow.
Seriously, I was like, how, girl?
Well, you know what they say.
Yeah.
You're only as young as the man you feel.
Is there any man that you're feeling?
Well, he was. Well, he is 28, and he was. He's kind of no longer. But yeah, he was my guy for a long time.
Are we talking about Eddie?
No.
There was someone else.
Yeah, there was someone else.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, he was very young. He was 20 years younger than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a thing for you now to do younger guys, or it just happened?
It just happened, really.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's really a thing. I think that it's the person that counts, of course. Because you get a very young person in a very old body, it doesn't matter. It's about the soul, it's about the spirits, it's about who you are. So that's the thing. And I guess, yeah. So I take it as such a compliment that you say that.
You look good, sis.
Because I've actually had one hell of a time in the last 3 years since I left the Housewives. It has not been an easy road. And it's so good to know that I'm still looking good.
You're the OG.
And I'm ready for action.
Let's do this.
Always.
Let's get into the thick of things. Chris, for a legally blonde woman like you, who is white, right?
Yes.
You are typically stereotyped into, and you're labeled as a bimbo, right?
Sometimes.
How do you take that?
Well, sometimes it's cute. And sometimes people underestimate me. And they think that they can take advantage. But they soon learn that that's not a good idea. Yeah. No matter what you look like, no matter where you come from, you deserve respect for who you are. And I think that's the main thing, that people sometimes overlook, right? But having said that, the bimbo is also a good thing sometimes because people underestimate you and then they don't realize how you can materialize. And you give them a shock. At the end of the day, you give them a shock, right?
Yeah.
Because they don't actually see it coming.
Do you feel like you have to enter a room and fight twice as harder to get recognized, to sort of not fall into that prejudice?
Yeah, you know, I don't really think about it.
Yeah.
But if I do get opposition, I do fight. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a fighter all the way.
And a lover
All the
too.
way. I'm a lover through and through. But if you're going to cross my path and show me your guns, I'll show you mine.
Khathu and I girl. Let's get into who you are and like into your background. Where do you come from before you became a real housewife of Johannesburg, a socialite, you know, a star, a celebrity, having all this notoriety? Let's get into who is
I'd like to just say,
Christall.
let's not call it notoriety. Let's call it, I'd like to call it fame. But
Yes.
I believe fame is actually world famous. So let's not say fame.
Okay.
Let's say being well known.
Yes.
But notoriety is a bad thing, like you did something bad, and I don't think I did that. So yeah, I'm going to say that I came from a place far, far away from Joburg called Durban,
You're a
KwaZulu-Natal.
KZN girl.
And I used to live right on the beach.
Okay.
I'm a beach lady. Actually, I like to say that I'm a mermaid. But yeah, that was my youth growing up, and I used to have a beautiful house on the beach, and I used to look at the ocean every day. It's my blood.
So
Yeah.
you're a coastal girl.
I'm a coastal girl. Yeah, I'm a Durban girl through and through. I've been here 20 years, so I guess I've got used to the gold.
Have you struck any gold?
Yeah, I
In
did.
the city
I
of
did.
gold?
Yes, I did. I did indeed.
Yeah.
I did strike gold.
Do you have siblings, Chris?
I had a brother when I was younger. He unfortunately died when I was 16 and he was 15. We were very close. And he had cystic fibrosis. And he was an angel from heaven. And, well, God takes them early, you know, because they're ready. Yeah. So that's the case. I always feel like I'm a little bit alone in this world, I guess, because, you know, when you miss someone that much, it's always a part of you. You always feel like someone's missing. Yeah.
I don't know if you share the same beliefs as me, but and I'm sorry about your brother's passing, but you're now blessed with a son. Do you sometimes feel like God takes and then he sort of replaces
Yeah,
in a way?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, like often I feel like my son was God giving back to me what I lost. And he really is so close to me. I love him so much.
I love it for you, Chris. And where are your parents?
Well, my dad was so close to me. He was my shining light my whole life. He gave me such strength. And he was always the joker. He was like a rock star, my dad. And he passed on 3 years ago. It's been tough without him. And my mom, she's actually in the Karoo. She's much older now. And yeah, she's over there. She's okay. She's doing okay.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
sound like you were a daddy's girl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And outside of family, how are you doing on friendships? Especially friendships with white people.
White people.
Yeah. Do you have white friends? I'd like.
I have some.
Yeah.
I must say that I have a lot of acquaintances. I have a lot of people that know me and that I know them and that. But close friends, I don't have so many close friends. I don't have somebody that I can call up in the night and say, I really need your help. Can I come over to your house? I don't have that. I don't have that. I must say that I sometimes wonder why I don't have that. But that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you take stock of your life, are you ever able to answer that question as to why you don't have friends?
I think I've always been a very independent person.
Yeah.
I've never been able to ask someone for anything. I can't actually pick up the phone and say, please help me. I always want to know that I'm self-sufficient. And I think that puts a wall up sometimes. And it also makes me feel like I don't want to over-indebt myself to somebody. And I think that keeps a distance, you know. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's how I am. And I think maybe I need to humble myself more to be able to ask people to come around more
And be there
or
for
to
you.
go there more, because I've kept the walls up of my ivory tower. I've lived in my own castle for a long time.
Literally.
I've had my own people, my own things. I haven't needed anyone really. Even my parents, I always did my own thing. They let me do my own thing from a very young age. And I set out and I did things that no one in my family did before, you know, like becoming a lawyer. No one in my family was a lawyer. When I was at school, I remember my teacher saying, that's a dream to be a lawyer. And I said, no, that's not a dream, that's a goal. There's a difference. My dream, of course, was always to be the rock star, the pop star, the singer, you know. That's always been the dream.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that I always wanted to be self-sufficient in everything I did. And sometimes, you know, maybe I need to understand you can't do it all alone.
Yeah.
You really do need help. You need to back up. You need support.
I can relate with so much of what you're saying, you know, when you have to really be there for yourself, you know, and really good days, bad days alike, just having it's you. I can relate so much, but there's beauty and there's strength in unity, in us, in letting people carry you sometimes.
I appreciate that now.
Yeah.
I know what it's like to be alone.
Yeah.
And when you are in a situation where you need help and you don't have that help, I know what that's like. And I understand to have support. And I think that I backed myself up a lot into a corner in terms of always being this self-sufficient person. And I have been through quite a tough time of late, and I understand the support of others.
Yeah.
And it's good to have that.
What's been happening with you of late, Chris?
Of late?
What's going on?
Do you really want to know?
What's going on? That's why you're here.
Let me have a drink first before I answer that question. Okay, what's been going on is actually beyond the Richter scale. Okay, in terms of craziness. I mean, how long have we got?
We got all the time.
Okay, so let's go back. You haven't asked me about the Housewives yet.
We're not there yet.
But that's where it started.
Okay, cool. I'm going to make a mental note.
That's where it started,
okay.
Babes. Yeah? Do you want me to start from there?
Let's go.
Okay, so the Housewives was a wonderful experience. And it was also a very testing experience for me. As you can probably notice, I was the only white girl on the show.
Yes.
And a lot of the ladies were not sure of me. A lot of the ladies gave me a lot of flack, a lot of hard times on the show. And I think that in good spirit of the show and also just in terms of my personality, you know, I gave it back to them, right?
Yeah.
Some of the insults, some of the criticisms, whatever you want to call it. And I don't think they took too well to that, right?
Because you literally are Christall unfiltered.
Yeah, I don't have any regard for people crossing lines being nasty for no reason. And if you're going to do that, then you're going to take it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very much a justice-orientated person. Like, give it to me, I'm going to give it back. And you're probably going to get it back worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that you were picked on and bullied and ganged up on because you're white?
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I could make it a racist thing, and maybe there was a bit of that. But it could also be because of my personality. Like I say, I'm very self-contained. I don't have to hang out with the chicks and have like my sidekicks and what. I'm totally independent, and I'm strong, and I'm bold and fearless, quite honestly. And I think that intimidated a lot of the girls. Yeah, a lot of the girls.
Yeah.
To quite a extreme level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever take stock of the things that you were saying as well? Because you also said a lot of things that I don't want to say warranted the girls' reactions, but you, in as much as you did not have a filter, you would speak your mind. And sometimes it was very offensive, sometimes it was very eye-opening, shocking, and people, obviously, they would react normally. You get what you give.
Yeah, sure. I think a lot of it was also miscommunicated, and that's where the racist thing came in. Because, for instance, when I say you people, that was one of the very famous things that became known for what Christall was saying a lot of the time. And the thing is that, even Nando's made an advert about that. I was even on the advert about you people, okay?
Yeah.
And the thing is that before the show, I was saying that to my friends, my dogs, my
Your
cats.
white friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
I say, you people, what is wrong with you people, I don't mean that in terms of you're a different race, you whatever.
Mara Christall, when someone says to you, don't say that, and you continue saying it.
Yeah,
Do you see that's where the problem comes in?
I think that was because it wasn't meant at them. It wasn't meant at a racist issue.
Yeah.
And that's just how I talk. Just how I talk. So I think that was the thing. And I'm not going to listen to somebody reprimanding me for the way that I speak.
Yeah.
You see? So it was like that. And also remember, they had hurled a whole lot of insults at me. And did they stop? Did they stop the insults?
No.
No, they didn't.
Yeah.
It got worse.
Okay, so in an instance where someone calls you the B word, Christall, and you tell the person, please do not refer to me as a B, and they, for a whole season, refer to you as a B, do you think you are within your right to say that you are not going to tell me how to speak because that is how I speak? That person tells you, that is how I speak. You're not going to teach me how to speak. Because the you people thing, to me, your explanation sounds like that. You're basically defending it. You're saying that,
Yeah, I think a lot of that's you people, bitch, whatever. Actually, I can't remember too many times that they actually said bitch to me, to be quite honest. But the thing is that it was said a lot in this whole heated moment when they were coming for me, and then I would be saying, like I just say, like, you people, you don't understand. And it wasn't even meant to be insulting.
Yeah.
And it was just taken as insulting because that was the context, you see. So it was taken out of turn.
Yeah.
And honestly, yeah, that's really it. I never came up with you people to insult anyone.
Yeah.
It was just the way that I was talking.
I think the thing with relationships, adult relationships and friendships is if I offend you and you tell me that you're offended, it's not up to me to decide whether your feelings are valid or not. If you're telling me that you are offended, you are offended. And I must take it.
And I was offended.
It was not about the intent. It's not about the intent. Whether I was laughing or not, whether I was making light of it, it wasn't that deep. That's between me and myself. You are offended by what I said. And that means I cannot repeat it. And I think that is what they were trying to say, essentially. But nonetheless, we move. How did you come to Joburg? When did you come to Joburg? Why did you come to Joburg? Why did you leave the coast to come to Joburg?
I was working as an advocate in Durban, and I got offered a position in Johannesburg, and it was more lucrative, so I came here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how long did you work before you left law?
Well, I worked in law for about 10 years.
How was that experience for you?
Well, it was great.
Yeah.
And it was also not great.
Okay.
I had moments of ups and downs and bad bosses and not.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, being an advocate wasn't such a great thing, because when I worked as an attorney, the attorneys had an ego problem with me being an advocate, because an advocate is the highest you can be as a lawyer, other than being a judge. So they actually were quite egotistical and, in a sense, jealous, wanting to put me down. So I seem to have that theme running through my life.
Yeah.
So it was going through there, and I had some bad bosses, actually quite a few. Yeah.
Was it predominantly male?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some women bosses as well.
Yeah. And how did you end up on the show?
I was invited on the show.
Okay.
Yeah,
By?
a producer, one of the producers phoned me.
Okay.
And they said, would you like to be on our reality show? And I said, yes, I would, because I'm a musician. I had just gone to Los Angeles, and I had done very well in LA. I'd won awards.
Yeah.
And I had started on my journey there. And this was going to be a good way of getting known by the public, getting my music out.
What would you say is the criteria for making it as a real housewife?
Really?
If there is one.
Is there even that question?
How do you end up being costed as a member? How do you, because I mean, there are a lot of aspiring housewives, but not everyone's going to make it.
No, I mean, you have to have the lifestyle. You have to have you should have the house. I mean, a lot of the housewives on the show didn't even have the house. They didn't have the whole deal going. I think that's also what caused a lot of the jealousy, was that I had it all. You know, I had the house, I had the car, I had the husband, I had the shoes, the thousand pairs of shoes. I had it all, you know. And on top of that, I was not going to take it lying down, and I was pretty cocky, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I had a good recipe, you know, for success, to be a housewife. Yeah.
A lot was said about your house, though, and how you got your house.
Yeah.
And the feeling seemed to be that you got it from laying on your back. Would you like to expand on that? The house that you worked so hard for, Christall. How hard did you have to work for?
Well,
your house?
I can tell you what that was about. Love.
Okay.
Yeah. I fell in love with a billionaire, and he fell in love with me, and he bought me the house.
Nje.
That's it.
Just like that.
And that wasn't the man that I married.
Yeah.
Yeah. The billionaire that bought me the house was stolen from me.
By who?
By another woman.
Were you careless, Christall? You careless?
Careless?
Yeah, I'm been daughter. That's what they say. What happened? How did you lose a man?
I'm never careless.
How did you let a whole billionaire, be stolen?
I was never careless.
What happened?
Let's just say that he was manipulated by this other woman.
Okay.
He was very manipulated. And he was presented with false evidence about me by this other woman.
Okay.
Yes.
Are they living happily ever after now? The two of them?
No.
Are they divorced?
No, they're still together, but they're not living happily ever after.
Are you talking to the guy? Are you still in contact with him?
No, not really.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a question. That's a question to answer, actually.
What's going on?
It's quite interesting what's going on. I'm still investigating, actually.
Okay.
But I do know that he is in chains.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in chains.
Okay, based on what he said?
No.
Or based on your investigations?
No, I haven't investigated thoroughly.
Yeah.
But I know because he's not allowed out the house. Yeah.
It's
a very strange setup what's going on with
Yeah.
that. And quite frankly, I can't comment. But all I know is that very few people can get to contact him right now because of who he is, because he's very high profile. And I just have my own thoughts. That's all I can say. And all I know is that he loved me very much. He gave me the world, and he wanted to be in my world forever, and he was taken from me.
Are you
That's
still
all.
in love with this man, Chris?
Maybe. It was 10, 12 years ago. He's 20 years older than me. I hear that he's very ill, but I actually don't think he's that ill. I think that there's other forces at operation. It's very weird. But anyway, I don't want to go too much into that because I don't have any evidence as yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the man that you wrote Wonderful.
No, this is the man that I wrote I wish I was married to a billionaire for. Yeah.
So that you would not have to worry about bills and stuff.
100%.
I mean, who wants to pay bills?
Exactly.
Who did you write? Who was Wonder inspired by?
You know, Wonder was actually written for a songwriting competition. Yeah. And I didn't have any man in mind when I wrote that. It was literally, it was just a song that I wrote.
Okay.
And there was another song that I heard that was like a similar type of song, and I thought, I want to write that kind of song. So I just wrote it, and it wasn't meant to be for anybody or anything. But now that I wrote it, it applies to so many of the men that I've seen, funny enough. And it applies to so many contexts.
Yeah.
And it's just been my Wonder song. And I've, of course, been called the Wonder Woman and the Wonder Girl. And I mean, I even called my home now the Wonderland.
Yes.
So, yeah, Wonder is a big thing.
Do you mind giving us a snippet of Wonder? We haven't heard Wonder in like
Wonder?
2 years, Chris. So
Wow.
please just revive our, I've got that scene of you performing on stage, killing it in the song. Just to jog our
Hey, where's my
memories.
guitar, man?
How, Chris? Guitar.
I'm learning to play, by the way, soon.
I've got the melody for you.
Okay?
Let's go.
I wonder if the Great Wall of China could get any higher, and whether you can see it from the moon. I wonder if the statues in Rome would know their way home, if the Pope had to find their way home. Yeah, but baby, I know that with you I will always wonder why. You just make me wonder. Ooh, you just make me wonder.
Chris! Shailani Hollywood, here you come, Chris.
That's it, baby.
Hollywood, here
That's
you
it.
come.
They're waiting for me.
What's happening with your music career? You were really like pushing and you were doing so well, and then you sort of just stopped. What
My
happened?
first single, Set Apart, hit 55 on the New York charts. I wouldn't say, there are different charts in the States, okay? It was one of the main charts. It hit 55. I was approached by a promo company from the States, and we got it to 55, which was quite amazing from a South African perspective. So yeah, and I was very encouraged by that, and I was continuing with it. I had a lot of discouraging factors in my life. I also just had a baby at the time. It was difficult to get going. There was issues, but having said that, music is really the most important thing for me, other than my son. My son he's 10. He's Luke. He's beautiful.
The
He
apple
is
of your eye.
absolutely, and he can also sing like an angel.
Yes, like his
And
mommy.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I have to say that I haven't even really started my music, but it's 100% all waiting to go.
Yes.
I am a songwriter, singer, And I cannot wait to take front stage.
It would be an injustice for you to just let that music sit in
Thank
that
you.
music library.
Thank you
Chris.
so much.
We are ready for you, please.
Yeah.
And right now things are digital. You know, there's so many platforms for you to launch your music, and we can just click you one click and, you know, you are blasting in our
That's
homes,
it.
in our cars. So please, I know there's, you know, there's fear, there's all these things that are not happening, but there will never be a right time, hey?
It's all right.
So fly, girl, fly.
Thank you. I intend to very much.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Tell me, Chris, were you friends with the ladies that you shot the Real Housewives of Joburg with? Did you know them before
No, not
you guys
at all.
got into production?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
No.
And how was the experience for you overall of recording production with a reality show?
Well, I love the show. I love being in front of the camera. I love the whole deal, and I think that I also love it because, you know, it gets to put a very big spotlight onto our lives, people's lives, and, you know, the viewer can see that, and they can get an example of things that we go through, people go through, like even now what we're talking about. Sometimes, you know, people, and very often, they don't want to talk about their problems. It's a big thing to reveal their secrets. It's very, very, very difficult to talk about things. And I think when people can watch that and see other people on TV even going through stuff, even movies, like movies is fake.
Yeah.
Let's face it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but reality TV has been so successful because it's real, and it should be. And I can say that for the Housewives, we were never scripted.
Yeah.
Okay? A lot of people asked me that. They said, really, was this all
Real.
just spur of the moment?
Yeah.
Was it really real?
Yeah.
I can say it was 100% real. There were a few moments when the producer was able to come in and say, okay, you guys will be together in this scene, right? Or they were allowed about 3 shots to throw in some pebbles. And when I say a pebble, that means that they could say, Christall, you say to this person this, to just cause a little bit of a scene. But generally speaking, it was totally unscripted, okay?
Yeah.
And I think that that is the beauty about reality. And when people watch that, they must understand that, you know, we're all in this together, that it's life. We fight, we make up, we have problems, we have racism, we have sexual problems, we have man problems, we have woman problems, we have jealousy, we have fights. It's life. And, you know, when you understand that, it makes it okay. It makes it feel like you are not alone in this universe. And I think that's very comforting.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when we feel like we need to be perfect, like sometimes we do, it puts too much pressure on us.
Yeah.
And reality TV and TV in general makes us feel like we're all human. We all connected, and we are. We are all connected in this world.
Yeah.
And we must never forget that. We must never forget that what you're going through, you're not alone.
True.
There are other people going through what you're going through.
True.
There is, even though you can't talk to them.
Yeah.
But at least with TV, you can see maybe, you can identify with somebody. It gives you hope. You know what? When I was a little girl, I didn't have a lot of family. Told you I had my father. He was wonderful to me. He was a beautiful dad.
Yeah.
My mom, we're not so close. I didn't have cousins. I didn't have any other family. You know who my family was?
Oh.
The pop stars.
Okay.
Dolly Parton, Olivia Newton-John, the Village People. They were my family.
Okay. I only know Dolly girl. I'm not that old.
They were my family. And you know, they gave me such hope and inspiration for my life.
Yeah.
They gave me such love. And they were from Hollywood. I didn't know them. And I wish I can meet them, and I hope I still will. Some of them are still alive. And you know, that is amazing. And it makes you realize the power of the media. Not in a bad way. Sometimes it can be a bad way. People write the media off. They say, oh, you know, you learn bad things on TV and you see bad things going on and you learn swearing and shouting and violence. I don't like the violence. I don't watch those action movies. But really, there's a lot of amazing things that can happen through the media. It's such an incredible platform. And I grew up on pop stars. I grew up on the music. And it's given me hope and love.
And the nice thing about that era was the talent.
Yeah.
I watched a video of Nicki Minaj this afternoon, and she was saying that the pop stars that she was listening to when she was growing up
Oh, yeah?
were talented.
Oh, yeah.
And the pop stars that we are listening to now, they're popular. So it's like talent versus popularity. And it's a shame that, you know, right now it's about how many numbers you've got on Instagram. You don't really have to be talented, but, you know.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
I mean,
you've got a following.
Look, like that's also an art, let's face it. I agree with what she says to a certain point, but I think that if you can gather up your followers and you can do what you're going to do, baby, you got it, because you got something, right?
Yeah.
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 Even if you can't sing, fuck, that's amazing. Sorry.
Yeah.
Did I just swear?
You did.
Beep that out. Okay, so the thing is like, you know, if you can get your followers going and you can give them something to hold on to carry on, to be better, amen, that's fantastic.
Good for you.
Amen, okay?
Good for you.
I saw this girl last night on Instagram.
Yeah.
She did that song, oh, if I can just remember what she was singing. I think it was a Whitney Houston song. She did it better than anyone I could ever say.
Even Whitney.
Even better.
Sure.
She did it in a key higher than Whitney ever took it.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, she was amazing. And I can just say the talent that's coming through
Yeah.
is phenomenal. Okay? But I can also say that there's no superstars like there used to be.
Yes.
Because everybody today can be famous because of the Insta, because
TikTok.
of social media. Is we've got a whole generation of famous people coming up, but not one person is sticking out like they used to, like Dolly, like Olivia, like
Michael.
the 70s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in those days, you either made it huge or you didn't make it at all. Now we can all make it. We can all make it together. Okay, so think about one person that was born in the 2000s or the 1990s that's a superstar. A superstar. Really. Who? Who is there?
Well, they do come, but then they fizzle out.
No, but who is there?
Justin.
There's no...
Justin Bieber became a superstar, and
There's very few.
Yeah.
There's very few.
They are, but the issue is the same social media that makes them is the same social media that breaks them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think Justin Bieber has been around quite a long time. And I mean, I think it's really not like it used to be. Because
True.
remember in those days you only had a certain path to release and to get famous. And there were only those chosen few that got it through. Whereas now, it's very easy to be famous. It really is. If you really want to do that, you know. But that's a good thing.
That's true. That's true. Chris, what is a Learjet? What's a Learjet?
Yeah, it's a Learjet.
Is it a normal jet or what's a Learjet?
A Learjet is a type of jet. It's a type of jet that you fly. It's a small jet
Okay.
that can go very fast.
Do you own a jet?
No, and I never professed to.
Were you gonna rent a jet?
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually, that was a joke.
Okay.
Because I have a friend who's got a company that supplies jets and cars and all these Lambos and you name it, all the latest sports cars.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not taking this flippin' bus
Yeah.
to Limpopo. Or
Yeah.
where are we going?
To
Botswana.
Botswana. Yeah.
I'm not going there. I'd rather take a Learjet, thanks.
For you. You didn't say for
I
for
didn't
everyone.
care. I wasn't talking for anyone else. I'm saying I'd rather take a Learjet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like a joke.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of the times when I joke, people take it out of context.
You were supposed to put a disclaimer and say, I'm joking. I'm joking.
No.
Kadlala.
You must understand that's a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's your 500K fur code, Chris?
It's in my cupboard.
It's in your cupboards.
Do you wanna buy it?
I don't have money, Dad. I don't have money. You're a fashion stylist, right?
Yeah.
Yes. What do you think of my style today?
I think it's wonderful. I love the pink. I love it. It's beautiful. It suits you, and it's just the monochromatic way that it just lines your whole body right down to your toe, from your head to your toe. It's gorgeous.
Khathu,
You look
crazy.
amazing. Okay.
Thank you so much. Hey girl, you were embroiled in like epic smackdowns on the show.
You could say that.
Yeah. Between your showdown with Madame Evodia and Brinnette and Bridget, how would you rate these from 1 to 3? 1 being the most, like the worst one, and 3 being the least. Who would you say was your worst nemesis?
Okay. Brinnette was definitely my worst.
Okay. Why?
She's a cunning snake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's got Gugu to smack my face in. Yeah. But with regards to Bridget, she wasn't even a housewife.
She was an extra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was just trying to, I think, gain some popularity by ditching me and saying the things that she did that night.
And throwing a whole glass of champagne.
Yeah, well, I must say that she really made me very angry. To the point that I threw the champagne, and I fully acknowledge that, of course.
Yes.
And I have a lot of supporters that agree with me throwing the champagne. Yes. I got much more champagne on my wig than she did.
Yeah. Yours was, yeah.
Yeah. And then, Madame, I actually love Madame, to be quite honest.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Like, she was my best villain, okay?
Okay.
And she's seriously a villain. They're all villains, by the way. I'm not the villain.
They're the dark side.
I'm not the villain.
Yeah.
You know who I am on the show? I'm Cinderella.
Where, Nana, in your castle?
I'm Cinderella in my castle, and they are all the ugly sisters.
The jealous stepsisters?
They are.
Okay.
Yeah. Still waiting for the prince, so.
What's happening there?
I had a few princes, I
Yeah.
must say. I did.
Yeah.
I had a wonderful prince, and, well, he's gone away. Probably, maybe forever. It's very sad.
I know.
It's very sad. I'm quite heartbroken about that.
Aski.
But anyway, Madame, she was just such a character. And, she in real life is such a fighter. And she's like crazy, man. She's the most crazy person I've ever met. I actually was in a meeting in real life with her other than the show. And I saw her go off to another point. So, like, granted, she's a force to be reckoned with. And she's real, like, she's got some power of her own, like, you know what I'm saying? And she also can talk, like, she can reason. And she can also laugh at herself, and she can laugh with me sometimes, even though we've had loggerheads,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that, because it's like, sometimes you have an argument with someone about something, and then you can just understand, you can just drop it and then go and have a drink. Yeah, she's like that.
How do you deal with conflicts? Because I can imagine after having fought with someone like that, it's blog on Facebook, blog on Twitter, blogger. But the next day, you are literally in a bus traveling to Durban with this person, and it's like it never happened. How do you do it?
No, it's difficult.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
And you have to be very strong. You have to be self-contained. And you have to also look past the issue and see what's making that person really tick and understand why they were maybe coming at you or whatever. It's not easy. And sometimes, it's a situation where you just have to keep quiet. Keep your mouth shut.
Never keep quiet, Chris.
Keep your mouth shut.
That could never be you.
Not if they come for me.
Yeah. I think coming in as an extra would be like LaJoy, because she was also not like a fan of you. She was...
Yeah, she was...
Yeah.
LaJoy was, I think, in the middle. Like, she tried to be my friend at times, and then she was actually not my friend. I never knew where she sat with me, you know. And I think that she... If you watch the show, there were times when she came to my house with the colors, you know, and she was being very kind and offering me that and whatever.
Yeah.
And then there were other times when she was really being unreasonable and fighting with me and stuff. So it was also yes and no, but she was nowhere near. And we actually still talk. We're not total enemies or anything. And I think that, yeah, I don't have a problem with LaJoy really, like I do with some of the other housewives. I mean, the main enemies on the Housewives were Brinnette, and Madame was my main rival in the first season, and her daughter. And Brinnette took the cake at the end of the day.
So you and Brinnette, it's not happening.
Brinnette is not my friend, and at the end of the day with Gugu, she got together with Gugu.
What happened? Because you were online, you had a pink eye, a red eye, a blue eye.
No, I didn't have a red eye. I had a black eye.
You had a black eye. You were assaulted.
I was assaulted.
Okay. What happened?
Sure. Let's go back. Okay, so it was season 3 of The Real Housewives. We had to go to Kenya for that show. We all flew together in a 747.
Not a Lear.
No. And actually it wasn't even, I think it had a propeller. It was the most pathetic airplane I've ever been in.
Economy.
Yes. Anyway. There were a couple of other new people on the show.
Okay.
And I noticed how bitchy they were to me. Like, you cannot believe. And I wondered why they were all being this way. Anyway, it soon came to pass that there was an ulterior motive here. Because on the final night, or the first night we got to Kenya, we had a lovely dinner on the beach. They made it all dressed up. We got around on the sand. We had pillows and beautiful tablecloth and candles on the moonlight night with the ocean lapping. We sat around, and I was thinking, this is so wonderful. We all got dressed up and we went to sit down, and the minute we actually started rolling, Brinnette piped up. This was literally the beginning of the season. Nothing had really happened on camera or anything in any of the other scenes. And Brinnette piped up and she said, there's someone in this group that is the elephant in the room.
Okay.
Now, do you know what that means? When you say that there's an elephant in the room, it means that that person is the troublemaker, the cause of all the distress, the so-called drama queen, what. And she went on, and of course she named me as that person.
Okay.
And it went on to a point where the rest of the girls all started ditching me. This was cameras rolling. This was going to be on national television. And each one of those girls had something really nasty to say about me that was far from the truth. And when I say that, I mean things like, Christall doesn't know how to love. Christall doesn't know how to receive love. Christall, like, there's something wrong with me. There's something innately wrong. I was so bullied and so insulted and so put down that it was an abomination.
Against
that
you.
it was actually hate speech.
Yeah.
It was considered to be hate speech against me. That by SABC standards, it wouldn't be allowed to be aired. But the cameras kept on rolling.
Sure.
And I was so hurt and so taken back by all of this because it was just me against them. And suddenly, there was a psychologist that rocked up on the scene.
Okay.
And this psychologist started to interrogate me in front of all of those people, in front of all of the housewives there. And this this psychologist was not on my side. She was not trying to help me.
Yeah.
No. Actually, if anything, she was trying to find out that I was like mad or crazy or something. And trying to point fingers at me. It was a really, really bad scene. I can't even describe to you how bad that was. I was in tears. I was ready to take the first jet out. And never mind a Lear jet. It could have been any jet. I was going to resign from the show. And they were determined to make me resign. And so was the producer. Yes, that's what they were aiming at that night in Kenya. But I managed to hold on and not give up because I didn't want to give up my show. So I continued to hang in there, even though I was fighting through my tears. There was a guy the next day, because we had another scene, and it was a breakfast scene. And I still remember him very well, because he was apart from the show. He wasn't part of the actual crew. He was a local that they'd hired, a local Kenyan man. And he couldn't understand what was going on, that they were being so discriminatory towards me and whatever. It was just like, wow. He was put in charge of so-called nursing me because they excluded me from scenes. And it was extremely distressing, very distressing. Because I'm in a foreign country, I have nobody there. I have no friends. I have no backup.
For this.
I have no one, and the entire crew and the producer is literally aiming to get me off the show. And at least he was so kind as to show me some compassion. That's all I can say. Anyway, I got back home. It was very distressing. And then I still had to continue with the show. And the next scene was a scene in Pretoria, in a nightclub there. At first, we actually went to do a netball match. And it was quite sweet because we were all playing and, and I thought this is all behind us.
We're getting better now. Yeah.
So we went and we played and it was okay and we had some dinner and whatever. And then we had to go to this nightclub after the netball scene. It was quite late at night. And this is when this whole atrocity happened. And what was the case was I went up to Brinnette and I said to her, because she was the one, remember at the dinner, that started this whole thing.
The instigator.
Yeah. I said to her, Brinnette, because this is all cameras rolling.
Yeah.
And you must remember too is that I have my fan base and I also have my own dignity at stake. Okay. And even if I didn't have cameras rolling, I will go and confront somebody that's put me down. That's how I am. So I went to her and I said to her, what was that story in Kenya?
In Kenya, yes.
Why did you say all those things? You started this whole attack on me. Why did you do it? Why? What was the purpose of that? And then Gugu was standing next to her. Gugu Khathu.
Yeah.
It's all in the papers, by the way. It's nothing that I'm saying that's totally a secret. And anyway, Gugu Khathu, after I asked her that, erupted into a crazed state. And she came for me. And she pushed her body onto me and her face in my face.
So she came guns blazing already?
100%. She went mad.
She didn't ask questions.
She went
was
mad.
Red.
She was going for it.
Okay.
And there was a couch there behind her. And I said, what are you, like, she's really screaming in my, like here, attacking me kind of. But she didn't punch me, but she was in my face. Do you see? So I just took my hands and I just pushed her away. And she fell right over.
You?
She fell right over into the couch.
Hey,
A very soft landing, by the way.
Okay.
You would have thought she would have learned the lesson once.
Yeah, and
stopped.
Stop, yeah.
But she didn't. She came for me again. So I pushed her again back into the couch. Because I could see she's not getting hurt. Right? Well, then they got up and then I said to them, listen, what's going on? We talked about the incident.
Yeah.
We had words. And then you know what happened?
What happened?
Everyone was silent. There was silence between all of us. Got to that point. There was no more words to say. It was over. They left the building. They went outside. And I had dinner with the guys and the girls, the rest of the crew and the cast.
Yeah.
Well, the cast, the other girls, right? And they gave me the local food. I had the sheep's brains and everything. I ate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you at Motherhood Monday?
I was at the Pretoria nightclub there.
Okay.
I can't remember the name.
Yeah.
So I had that, and there was one lady. She was also she's quite well known. I'm terrible with names. Anyway, so she actually was like now becoming friends with me, and we carried on the evening.
So it's chilled now. You
Now
guys had your
we had that altercation. It's
ate.
over. It's over.
Yeah.
I'm carrying on with the evening. I'm having a nice time now, and all the ladies are okay.
Yeah.
You know, the cameras are still rolling.
Yeah.
That didn't stop Gugu and Brinnette. They went outside. They even changed their shoes and their clothes.
They're wearing what now? Techies?
Yeah, they put their tackies on.
Okay.
They
And
put their tackies on to come back and attack me.
Yeah, when I...
And they came so bad. They followed me around the nightclub. They attacked me. They were going for my throat. They were going for everything.
Wait. So let's take it. So you are chilling. They come back. They are following you. And then what happened?
So they keep coming. And then actually the one other lady that was one of the housewives at the time, she's quite well known, celebrity lady.
Yeah.
She even said, I'm calling the bouncer. This is too much because these girls are coming for you.
Oh, so you did feel, you did see it.
No,
it
they
was
were coming
not
for
subtle.
me. No, they were, yeah.
After school is after school. So they were waiting
They
for
were
you.
trying to come for me already. So
Okay.
then this lady called the bouncer. She called the bouncer in.
Okay.
The one of, because there's a lot of bouncers in clubs, right?
Yeah.
So the one bouncer came and then they decided like, I need protection because these girls are coming for me. So he was with me the whole time. His name is Prince. I know him.
Yeah.
I didn't know him from before, but I know him now from that night. And he was overseeing me.
Yeah.
And they didn't stop.
Because you were going to leave the club, Chris.
They didn't stop. And eventually they keep coming for me. I had to go to the bathroom. They followed me there. They were attacking me.
Were they saying things?
Saying, attacking, harassing, you name it. Then Prince said to me, the bodyguard, he said, come, let's just go and sit down so you're safe, so you're not also retaliating. Because like if someone's coming for you, you naturally want to attack back because it's like your self-defense mechanism that happens.
Prince was saying, don't
Prince
fight.
is like, yeah, he says, just go and sit down. So then I listened to him and I went and I sat down. And not that I was fighting much before. I never really did that.
Yeah.
But it's just a natural reaction, right? So to save me and to protect me from doing anything maybe, then we went and we sat down on the couch. And that is when they continued to attack me around the bouncer.
Yeah.
And that is when Gugu then gestured that I come towards her like she was going to talk to me. And I thought in peace, maybe she was going to say something to stop this whole charade. And that is when she actually punched my face in. And I have actual witness of that. I have his testimony. He made out an affidavit already. And that is actually in the dockets in the police station.
So you stood up and Gugu swung at you?
No, I didn't stand up.
Okay.
I didn't.
What happened?
I was sitting down and she hit flipping hell out of me. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what happened was, this picture of me was then, I sent it to the production company that was responsible for this whole show. Sonia and Mbele's show. And then suddenly this picture got out to the whole world of my face with a big black eye. Yeah. And, well, the rest is history. I'm no longer in the show.
So, you got punched and you got cut.
I got knocked out.
Yeah.
Literally.
Basically.
I got knocked out.
Hey,
I got knocked out of the show.
Did you lay charges against Gugu?
Yeah, and of course, you know what? Before I even laid charges, that night, once she hit me, she went to the cops and she laid charges of assault against me. She had no evidence, nothing.
So
Can you believe that?
What's happening with the case now?
Well, the case is proceeding.
Okay.
Against Gugu.
Yeah. Hey, Chris, I'm sorry about your incident, man. It's unfortunate.
It really is.
It's you really got heated in the first 2 seasons, but it was never to the point where you came out with a black eye.
Yeah, and also, you know what? I'm allowed to say what I want.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to tell you, you know what? I don't think what you're wearing is nice, and I don't think what you talk is very good. I'm allowed to tell you that. It's my right.
It's your opinion. Yeah.
Yes, you can't hit me for that. And anyway, if I do that, I've never done that as an insult. I've never been an attacking person. I don't have that in me. That's not what I do.
Yeah.
If go and watch every episode, and like you said, you did. You watch every episode of The Housewives. Show me one incident where I was the attacking person in terms of verbally. Show me. I want to know that. Because that's not who I am.
Yeah.
I don't attack nobody. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm just a person. I state my opinion. If you come for me and you're going to tell me stuff and I don't agree with you, I'll tell you. And I'll give you my opinion. But that doesn't give you the right to give me a clap.
Hey, Chris, do you think that reality shows are, I don't know if I should say a safe space or, but it feels like, or I'm getting a sense of there's a very toxic atmosphere around reality shows. I was wondering, why do people not come back? Because it's really nice also to see the same group of women from season 1 to season whatever. And even if there's additions, they will literally just be additions to the old cast. But if like 4 of season 1 people don't come back and then we get 4 new people and then season 3, it loses that essence.
Momentum. I agree. I think that for the popularity of the show and for the reality of the show and for the characters, that people know the characters and everything, I think that it should really be those same people, because you can't have chip changing.
Because now you have to form new friendships again, get to new people again.
It's not authentic.
Yes.
It's not authentic.
True.
100%.
Yeah.
But what you said about the Housewives being toxic, I think that the Housewives genre is a lot about this conflict situation. I think there is that to it. So the girls are constantly looking how to fight with each other. And I think that is not a good thing, because really it shouldn't be about that. If you fight, you fight. If you're friends, you're friends. It shouldn't be like, let's see the angle we can fight with and let's see the drama we can create. And that's never what I intended. And I never was set out to actually go and start a fire. The thing is that I did use some kind of entertainment value sometimes, like what happened when the girls in the first season, Madame and Mercy, they tried to actually hit me. I don't know if you remember.
In the store?
Yes.
Were you?
And I was very quick and I blocked them. I blocked them. My lightning reflexes. Yes.
You were like,
lightning reflex.
Yes, Chris.
I got them. So that's it. So after that, I was put on my guard. And I just so happened.
Gugu. You didn't see Gugu coming.
No.
I agree.
No, I didn't see Gugu coming.
It was the sheep's head.
I should have known that. I should have realized that they were actually going to do that, because I really didn't think they were that savage. But anyway, so the thing was with Madame and Mercy, what I did, and what I should have done with Gugu, was I took a bodyguard with me to the next scene.
You went to Brinnette's wedding with a bodyguard.
100%. Okay, so that was the way I brought the drama in. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I needn't have done that, I guess. But for me, it was also good for the show. So sometimes, you know, you realize you're also an entertainment person. You have to give it a little bit extra. Like when Bridget, when she insulted me that night about laying on my back to get my house. That was a very big insult.
Yeah.
My house was given to me by my two-year relationship that I was in with my billionaire that loved me. Okay? And I went through hell with him, and he really treasured that. Okay? She insulted me to the end of the earth. And I was going to say something to her in reality. Say it wasn't TV. Say it wasn't, we weren't on TV. But because we're on TV, I probably went a little bit further. Do you see what I'm saying? So there is that extravagance on TV. And it must be, because you entertain people.
It is entertainment.
You have to see it like that.
Yes.
You have that job.
Yes.
Just like when I was with the girls at that scene and I told you I pushed Gugu away from me and she fell on the couch.
And it is self-defense.
She came back and I pushed her again. Yeah. She was literally attacking me.
Yeah.
So the thing is, it is self-defense, but I suppose I could have just walked away maybe. In reality, you see, I could have turned my back and walked out.
Yeah.
But because it's the show, you also want to engage. So that is what happens on the show, 100%.
Yeah.
And you can't actually take that away from anyone because they're doing their job.
Yeah.
So things can get more heated, right? Yeah. But having said that, I can honestly say that real life mimics fiction.
Yeah.
Or fiction mimics real life.
True.
And don't forget, there are 100% more toxic situations that happen in real life than on the show.
Yeah.
And I can witness that from my own life. Because if I tell you what I've been through in my own life, you'll be surprised.
Sure. How did the passing of Naledi affect you?
Well, Naledi was somebody that I met in season 1. And she wasn't really a close friend to me. Okay. I didn't know her. She was one of Sonia's friends that was on the show. And I can't say that I was a close friend to her.
Okay.
And I just feel very sorry that she had to go through that. I think that she kept it very quiet. You know, it was very sad. And I think that I didn't get to know her as a real person. I got to only know her on the show. And I think that she was also instigated by producers. And that's the thing, you know, life is not just as simple as what we like to think it is. But we have to always be aware and be on our guard, and also just at the same time show love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris, do you think that you respected your ex-husband Eddie?
Respected him? That's a big question. That's a very complicated question.
Okay. Yes or no? Silence is golden.
Sure, that's like a cross-examination question. Huh? What law school did you go to? Huh?
We are within, Chris.
Huh?
We are within. Did you respect Eddie?
No, Eddie was my friend.
He was not your husband?
Eddie was my friend for like 7 years or so before we got married.
Okay.
He was not my lover, really.
Before?
He wasn't my lover. I married him because of what happened with Joe.
Okay. And
I wanted to have a baby.
Was he a rebound?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe he was.
Is he Luke's father?
Yeah.
Okay. Chris, we gotta go. We out of time, unfortunately. What are your parting words to your fans? You know, we miss you on our screens.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you, you're going to see me.
Okay.
On the 23rd of July, my new show.
Yes.
It's called The Perfect Picture.
Wow.
But it's not my new show. It's
Okay.
not my show. It was a show that I was asked to be on.
Yeah.
And it's actually a photography show. It's about how good you can be with your camera. I'm not a very good photographer, I have to tell you. It was a very big challenge for me to be on that show. So please be alarmed and be aware. But I will be on ETV in a few weeks' time. So that's the next step. That's the next role. And yeah, you know, I'm making my way. I'm definitely going to be doing amazing things. I'm going to be releasing new stuff always. I'm actually working with a company in America, music record company called Rare Gold. And I'm doing a song with them right now. So that's also in the pipeline. And yeah, you know, I am going to be possibly also moving on to LA soon.
Okay.
But I'm also going to be here, so it's not going to be.
You're not relocating.
No, I'm not really relocating.
Okay.
I'm just going to be going there for a while.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that and reestablishing some ties over there. And also, I'm looking to do my show. Yeah. I'm looking to do my show, Keeping It Christall Kay.
Yes.
That's hopefully coming very soon.
Yes.
And I can tell you now, it's going to beat the socks off the Housewives.
I trust you.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Chris, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. But our tapes are full, so we gotta go.
No, it's okay.
Thank you.
I appreciate the invite. Thank you so much. It was wonderful chatting, and all the best.
Thanks,
and
Chris.
yeah, anytime, just give me a call.
Yes, bestie.
Yeah, till next time.
Toodles.